In this video, we will solve this polynomial inequality. Well, we already have 0 on one side, which is important. The next step is to solve the related equation. Okay, x squared plus 20x plus 100 equals 0 instead of greater than 0. This will give us the critical values, which we will use as border points on the number line. To solve this, let's try factoring. Alright, x squared can only be x times x. 100 can be several things, but let's try 10 times 10. We know that inner plus outer equals middle, and inner we have 10x, and outer we have another 10x. That makes 20 if they're both positive. So there we factored it. If we set this equal to 0, they're both the same, so I don't need to write it twice. I'm going to get x equals -10. Okay, so that is my only 0. So I'm going to put that single 0 on my number line, -10. Okay, and now I need to decide, first of all, will I put an open circle here at the border point, or will it be a closed circle? This is going to be an open circle because this is greater than. We don't want to include solutions, values that will equal 0. And -10, we got that by setting the equation equal to 0. So -10 is a value that will cause the function to equal 0. We only want values that will cause the function to be greater than 0. So we won't include this, so we will leave it an open circle. So if this had been greater than or equal to instead, then I would have made a closed circle. Anyway, that separates the number line into two zones, less than -10 and greater than -10. So we will need two test values to see where the solutions are, if any. So to the left of -10, I will use, let's say, -11. To the right of -10, I will use 0. So I'm going to use -11 and 0. And I'm going to use my TI-30XS multi-view. Alright, I will type this equation, well, this polynomial, into the table feature. So that's going to be x squared plus 20x plus 100. It doesn't matter where it starts because I'm going to be using the ask feature. So if your calculator has auto highlighted, I suggest you use your arrow key, skip on down there, and switch over to ask and hit enter. Okay, because now we can type in exactly what we want. And I want -11 and 0. So I will type in -11 and 0. So at -11 I have 1. At 0 I have 100. So I have 1 and I have 100. Now the question is, are these values greater than 0? Is 1 greater than 0? Is 100 greater than 0? And in both cases, the answer is yes. 1 is greater than 0, and 100 is greater than 0. That means we have solutions on both sides here. So I will represent those solutions by drawing an arrow to the left. Alright, because that means we have solutions over here. And we will have an arrow to the right, meaning we have solutions over here. So really, every value is going to give us a solution except for -10 itself. We are supposed to put our answer in interval notation though. So I am going to have two separate intervals, one for the left arrow and one for the right. So this left interval goes from negative infinity to negative 10. So that's negative infinity to negative 10. Okay, round and round. Now this right arrow goes from negative 10 to positive infinity. So negative 10 to infinity. And again, because it's an open circle, that's going to be round. And infinities are always round. And I'll put the union symbol right there. Now, this software, this author, is using these braces in place of square brackets. So let's go ahead and interpret these braces as square brackets, just by the way, in case you ever run into that again. Okay, anyway, our answers don't have braces or square brackets in them, so I guess it didn't really matter. But let's look for it. Negative infinity to negative 10, union, positive 10 to infinity, no. Negative infinity to negative 10, union, negative 10 to infinity. D is the answer.